back to the Top of the Bottom podcast. This is the second episode we're doing here in Burbank at Nightingale Studios. We want to thank them for letting us shoot here, and we're here with our second band, Cereus. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you. It's been an honor, dude. It's so amazing to have this opportunity. So thank you for inviting us.
Of course. You know, last time when we brought you to Nightingale so you could be the headliners, you guys were amazing, right? I thought you guys were great. Monochrome came out. You know, I didn't get to see your other shows that you went to at Celo's backyard, but I saw your videos, right? Because we have a mutual friend, and I thought, you know, they were great, so I couldn't wait to see you guys live myself, and I happened to be here at Nightingale, and now we're back here having our first interview here at Nightingale. So it's awesome. How are you guys doing today?
You guys can speak, bro.
Whoever's not shy can go, right?
I feel like I'm doing good, you know. I had to work earlier today. Did it really good.
Okay.
I met my goal.
Real.
I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. You know,
Happy to have you.
we appreciate it. So let's I kind of want to go back to the beginning, right? We did this with the last band. We had Sad Name. I don't know if you heard of them, but pretty great as well. They're a great band. Everybody should check them out. Where did you guys all meet? Like, who was the first person to bring you guys all together?
It was actually me and the drummer here in the Drac Mask. We knew each other since middle school, and we played in orchestra together in drums. And and we went on to high school, and then kind of lost touch for a bit, and then got back together. And he was doing a band separately with someone else, and they were working on some songs. And I knew a guy, and we played guitar together. And we were like, hey, we should just create a band just for the school shows and all that. And we continued that for some odd 4 years, and then we finished high school, kind of took a stop, but it was just me and him who really stuck to music. Everyone else kind of moved on with life and stuff, and we were like, let's just do our own band. And we started just as a duo, just doing songs on SoundCloud, and it was very difficult to get that going. But our bassist here was like pretty cool, and like we knew them since high school as well, and they played bass for parts of the show when he already had graduated from us. So we brought them back in because they kind of finished college, and also they had the free time. And it was us three for a while, and then coincidentally, they met our singer at another college and invited them, and they were down to sing. And we were kind of skeptical at first because, for some reason, for singers and a lot of bandmates that we've had over like the maybe 5 years it's hard because a lot of people would say they're down, and then they'll flake, or they kind of get tired or bored, or like they don't want to put the effort of work in. But everyone here stuck with it, and now we're going 2 years strong, and I think we did a lot of good progress in that time.
That's awesome to hear. So, how did you get to the name Cereus? So you all eventually came together, right? Who came up with the idea of Cereus?
I did. So, I'm really into plants, and yeah, woo. But yeah, super into plants, and that plant at my old house where we started Cereus, what's it called? I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the mic. There was a cactus right there, and it had that flower that bloomed there. And like one day randomly, I was just like, oh shit, I wonder what that one's called. And searched it up. It's called Cereus, and that flower only blooms at night. So I was like, oh okay, like let's get poetic about it. And like, boom, the name was born.
Yeah, I dug it. I was just like, I didn't know about it either. He told me, and he showed me, and I was like, oh, and I was like, I just thought it looked cool, like on paper, the way it was written, you know. But it was a pretty cool metaphor, and it was like, hey, I dig it.
Right. And so when you guys all came together, did you have an idea of what kind of music you wanted to write about? What kind of music you wanted to play?
At first, kind of. Since we had those bands before, we kind of both knew what we liked and what we didn't like to play. There were certain genres we knew was like, maybe stay away from it. We're not that good, or we just don't really enjoy playing it personally. So we stuck kind of that alternative garage rock, a little bit of punk, a little bit of metal, and as we like brought in the bassist and singer, we were just like, oh, like we also kind of like the same things, but we like some different things. So we try to add it together and have this alternative like garage sound that isn't really quite the same as many other bands within that genre would say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And what brings like the influence to your guys' music?
Who wants to take that?
Honestly, I don't know. Sometimes help me like write the lyrics and stuff, but I kind of just go off like how it sounds. So I'm like, okay, this sounds a little more like this, or a little slower, a little fast. Sometimes the drummer also helps with the lyrics too. They've written a couple of songs. Yeah.
So I feel like we all bring really good things to like the band. So like if we need refining or anything, our drummer over here would tell us, you know, he wouldn't hesitate. Over here, the devil, like he brings really good melodies and stuff. Um, with our singer, she really knows how to put the words that we write or that she writes already to the songs because since she came in late, we have like all these instrumentals, but with no
Right.
singer. So I feel like she does a really good job in that. I help with like the lyrics, like how she was saying, if she needs to like brainstorm, like we work on it, we tag team on it. Um, but yeah, I feel like we all bring good strengths to each other. We all complement each other because otherwise I feel like we would just be fighting.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up. So you're the most like recent member to join the
newest
band.
member.
Did you know what kind of music this was?
I did listen to the SoundCloud and I was a little afraid because they sounded a little more fast paced. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can keep up, but since I came with the basses, they made me feel a little more comfortable. So I was like, okay, like I didn't feel uncomfortable bringing up things that I wanted to change. So yeah, it all kind of just worked out.
Right, and are being a singer, are you traditionally a rock singer? Like, how long have you been singing? Kind of like, what's your
I
vibe?
like started singing.
Like Airbnb, huh?
Yeah, I would say R&B. Probably that.
That's quite the step up.
Yeah, it's different, but I always wanted to be in a band. So I was like, okay, I mean, creative people know how to adapt to things. So I was like, I can do this. It's not hard. I just, okay, I just need to figure it out.
So you're like Ashanti if she joined Nirvana, right? I guess. In a sense.
I mean, you can say that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like an interesting mix.
Yeah, I think so too. I wanted to ask about the masks. When did the mask come in? Has it always been a thing from the beginning?
No. Obviously since like not high school, like before Cereus itself. No, of course not. But when Cereus first started, since it was just me and the drummer, and we weren't playing live. We didn't really have anything to it but logo and music. So we never thought we would play live. And when we did, we kind of just wanted it to just be the music. As well, it was just something cool and just to kind of have you stick out a bit more. But it was really just like you could just kind of hone in behind the mask and just focus on playing, and people focus on the music.
Like to add to that, I mean, nowadays it's really hard for bands to stand out, and like the way we see it and the way we've talked about it with like our other homies and other bands, everybody needs a gimmick, you know. It's like if you don't have a gimmick, you're not really gonna make it. Like we have a friend, his name is Sylvester. Shout out Sylvester. He wears a cowboy hat. So like if you go to his shows, you're like, oh, that guy with the cowboy hat, like he stands out. He's really good and everything. So we're like, yeah, let's like build off of that and try to like be known for the music, but also like have our own like iconography, I guess, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I think do you believe any of them like are supposed to match your personalities?
Mm-hmm. How did you guys choose your masks?
Honestly, on real type shit, just found them.
Just found them.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
We have a coworker who worked at a Spirit Halloween.
Oh,
And they're
okay.
like, hey, I know you want to use some masks. Like, I have a bunch of extra ones. So they would just pick and choose whichever one. I actually wanted the one that he had, but yeah, like little known fact, I wanted the one that he had, but he chose it. So I was like, okay. So I got stuck with this one. Our bassist already had that one because they're
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
And then this one, like last minute, we couldn't find any mask, so we just went. We tore the bottom half of the mask off.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So it's very DIY.
It looks natural.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was like you got it because she's the singer, so like okay, she has to have like the jaw free.
No, that's cool.
Thanks, I made it myself.
No, we use the Dremel to it, but I mean, the only real like I guess requirement or kind of theme we had was just like something simple and like kind of the iconic basic like when you think Trick or Treat or like any like old Halloween style film, just basic Halloween masks. I feel like anything too detailed or silicone or anything in that like just wouldn't work with us. We'd die in it, it's too much. I don't know how like bands like Slipknot does it.
I was about to
Oh,
bring up
yeah.
Slipknot because they also wear masks when they perform, and I thought maybe that might be an influence in why you guys wear masks.
Yeah, possibly a little. Yeah, it was really cool. Like bands like that, Ghost, if you may know them,
Mm-hmm.
Daft
Love Ghost.
Punk. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
mass artists. We're just kind of like, oh, it's an image to the music, and it kind of adds to the vibe. Where in other bands, it's kind of hard to bring a vibe to the music if you don't have that gimmick or look to your aesthetic that kind of associate with it.
Right, of course. And so with that being said, you perform with these masks on as you're gonna perform on the show later on. Is that hard to do with the mask? It seems very hard.
Extremely.
I mean, you got half a mask. Is it half as hard?
Still hard because it completely covers my mouth. So sometimes I don't know when I can't really see, so I don't know when it's too close or too far. So sometimes it just kind of bangs a little bit. I'd say that's pretty much my biggest struggle.
For you, you have the most. You have like the heaviest load. You're like banging those
Yeah.
drums.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when we came to Nightingale last time.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like made like drum fill and I just like smacked the mask off.
I think I did
Yeah.
notice. Yeah.
So it's it gets in the way, but honestly, like it's fun. So like if I'm having fun, I don't really care about it. But yeah, sometimes I'm just dying, like thirsty. It's hard to drink water. It's
Oh, I
hard
bet.
to breathe. So, but I mean, it's fun. It's vibe. So
Yeah. Well, there would be like a mask update.
yes.
Oh,
Like
you're
into
gonna change
Shiesties
it.
or something.
Yeah.
Shiesty. What are they, a trap band now?
Hey, you
drill-
never know. We like
a drill
try and
band.
experiment.
Yeah.
go.
You know, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the Shiesties on the masks and make it much worse.
Yeah.
You know?
It's gonna be like silhouetted, and now we can't breathe, and we can't see anymore, and our body temp's gonna go up.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So yeah, let's go. What about you? When you perform with the mask, what do you feel?
Honestly, it's though my main issue is just sweat. It gets in my eyes. But aside from that, I mean, when we practice like all together and all, I usually play with my eyes closed or I don't look at it. I try not to. Not only for just me seeing through the mask, but it's just good exercise for anyone who's like practicing an instrument. Like to not really look, and you get that muscle memory, feel the distance between certain frets, and it just helps easier so you can focus on other things. Like for me, hitting a pedal board at the same time, or like engagement, or just kind of looking at other members to make sure we're all in sync. Especially with these masks on, it's pretty difficult, but
Right.
putting all into consideration.
Yeah, I thought you might be sweating because like the hellfire that follows you. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I figured. But it seems like it's a little more physical in that case.
Yeah. A little bit of that too, you know.
Have you guys ever had like any like trip ups on stage wearing the masks
All the time.
all the time?
I can't really see from mine, so I
Oh yeah, my
I've
holes are small.
tripped. I've tripped. My bad. I tripped on my wires. I've tried to hit my pedal board, but I've completely missed. It's because sometimes when I look down, it like goes back up, so I can't really see. But I think I've gotten the most accidents besides him getting hit in the head. Mine is just like I trip over everything with this on. I can't see.
Have you ever tripped but you turned it into like a slide, so it's like you're playing on your knees? No.
I'm gonna try doing that. for
Yeah,
the next
please.
year.
And then you can shout us out like, "Hey, I know where I learned that from." You know. But so, how long so you just released Misery Avenue, and a lot of these songs were songs that you played last time you guys were here, and I'm assuming they're also songs that you've played for your other shows that you've had. You've done like 4 or 5 shows now, right? Is this material? How long have you had this material? Because it's new to us, because it's released, right? So how long have you had this material?
We had some of those songs. One of them, we've had them since years. TRNZ was a song that me and the drummer wrote together. I want to say maybe 4 years, I think. 4 years ago. It's that one's been for a while, and it's just such a fun and intricate song. We just had to add that one. But the other 3 just came recently within like 6 months, I would like to say. We always wanted to record those, but we decided to do Monochrome as the first kind of single on its own. It kind of it was like the first song. All 4 of us with our singer, like we finally wrote all together. It wasn't just me and the drummer, or me, drummer, and the bass. Like it was just all 4 of us. So we added that one first. But those songs came like 6 months before today, which like maybe like winter. So I think spring.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when Monochrome wasn't on the EP. I was like, you could have just filled it out like you have 5 instead of 4. You got 5 now. You got the Monochrome single, and then you got the other 4 new songs.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when that wasn't the case.
Yeah, we want just to add just new music because you see in the shows we play, we have a bunch of songs that we play, but they aren't yet recorded and such, and it's little by little adding parts and maybe later putting them all together for something big.
No. I was like, I lost it for a second. I was like,
yeah,
"Dang,
that was my
He was
fault.
enthralled.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
that's fascinating.
I'm like really intrigued.
Yeah. And so you mentioned you have other songs. Do you plan to use the songs that you perform with to put them on your next project?
Maybe
Oh.
there's some there right soon. Maybe there's other ones that are gonna come before that are still being written that haven't been played yet. We don't know. You don't know. We do know actually, but
Well, you guys know.
But-
we don't
Yeah,
know,
we
but
don't
you
know,
guys
yeah.
know.
but for sure, a lot of those older songs. Yeah, eventually we'll get to them as we add some new songs we write. All 4 of us, we're adding some of those old ones that we really love in.
Right. Yeah. Your classics, and now you want people to hear the classics.
Yeah,
that
the
you have,
classics
right?
that are like we're very proud of.
And it's gonna be a bit of cognitive dissonance because you guys are gonna feel like they're old, and the audience is gonna feel like they're new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like as we record them, we also add a little bit of new stuff that we didn't do beforehand. So like
Right.
new vocals, or like, oh, let's try singing it like this, or maybe change up the guitar, or maybe the bass could play a different groove and slightly different notes, and then it kind of becomes new as we re-record and replay it.
Right. And why the name Misery Avenue?
We could not come up with a name like at all. And yeah.
So,
So miserable.
There was a little bit of story behind that. It's half a concept album, like concept EP. If you know, it's like 2 of the songs are places,
mhm.
a laundromat and a liquor store, and
Yeah.
you kind of listen to those 2 songs. It's kind of like a story of tells of like a post breakup of someone who's like, you know, they're kind of like there, like they go to liquor stores to kind of like heal themselves. Laundromat's like the memory they last had with that person, and coming soon we're writing a 3rd song, which kind of like concludes both of those 2 songs together. They kind of go into each other with that night aura background and like a little bit of the ambiance you hear and the sound effects at the beginning and end of both songs.
Right. Okay. So they're gonna follow into it. Okay. That's very, very interesting. You know,
We kind of wanted the concept of like it's all in the same block. So we're like, oh, just Misery Avenue. Like, oh, it's in this general area. Yeah.
right. Like the people know each other. Maybe they even like the couple in the soundtrack. Maybe they even know like they live on the same block there. And it's maybe metaphorical. They're breaking up, so you're going down Misery Avenue, right? Like you're going through pain. So yeah, I see that makes the whole
Yeah,
that
and
makes
it all
Yeah.
fits. It ties in together really nicely.
Yeah, it's kind of a 2-parter too. Like both misery is like they're living in misery, but at the same time, in the city where like we made the band and such, there is a street there that's like well known to us that's called Missouri Avenue. So yeah,
Okay.
and that picture's taken at like one of the like adjacent streets in the old neighborhood that we're in.
And so for each of the song titles, you have Laundromat that opens up, and you want it. So it's a concept album basically. But when you deviate from the concept, was there a specific idea behind that? Like you wanted it to be different from the idea you had, but like between the relationship of the couple in the album?
No, it was more so the first 2 songs were just kind of the songs we had ready at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, these 2 kind of start off the idea, and then later on when we do next EP, we'll add in that 3rd song, and then maybe eventually later on in an album and such, we'll have all 3 there telling the full story. The last 2 songs were honestly just songs that were just fun, and we just wanted to add them in, like, you know, to aside from those 2 moody and like they're very like powerful, like emotional songs. You just have these other 2 like fun jam, like rock songs that we wanted to play, because before that, Monochrome was also a very soft alt song, and we have a lot of hard songs, so we just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, I noticed that from the live show. It's like Monochrome stands out as being like the single, right? And then the rest is like kind of like the what do they call deep cuts of the albums, where it's like the harder stuff that you guys get. So it's like most bands, as you may know, even rock bands, they release like a radio friendly song, and then their deeper cuts are just like for the hardcore fans. So that's kind of like what that reminds me of right there. That's why I was surprised it wasn't on the project, but it was great nonetheless. Like when you guys released it, I was super excited because I wanted to hear more from you guys because Monochrome was so good. So, you know, we enjoyed it. Me and Jay both enjoyed it.
Yeah,
A
I do have
lot.
Laundromat on repeat all the time though.
Thank
It's been a song,
you.
you know, it makes me feel like I'm in a movie. I just play it and I was like, yeah, I'm sad.
Very cinematic.
Yeah.
So you think the next project is going to continue being concepts? Is it going to be like just an album of more random singles, a whole concept album? Because like this one was kind of split concept and split singles.
Anyone want to take that?
I think it's gonna be a mixture of both. Like we said, we have that third song that's coming out
Mhm.
that ties all of that together. Other than that, it's like the next I think two songs that we have on that are like very different from each other. But that's if you want to take it as a concept, you can take it like that. But it's more us just growing as musicians and experimenting with different genres and stuff. And then we bring back a deep cut. But I mean, that's all we can like say for now, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm glad that you bring up musical genres as growing as artists. Obviously, you guys are alt rock or garage rock, however you guys want to classify yourself. I think you're just like rock, right? But as individuals, I know you like R&B. Does everybody else also into rock, or you like different music, but you just play rock because like you like rock to play rock?
Well, I like a lot of different music, but like I don't really like pop music or stuff like that. Like I like oldies. Like I like my punk, my metal. I like disco, like stuff like that. I like funk.
Mm.
Um, I think I just gravitate more towards like the rock because it's more funner. But like I do enjoy listening to other music because it is very interesting. It could inspire something as well. But yeah, I don't know if it's like pop. It has to be like trashy, like early 2000s pop. That's like my guilty pleasure.
White girl pop.
Like, yeah, like give me the Kesha.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, I would say that I feel like out of everyone, because the three of them all kind of have, I wouldn't say similar taste, but I feel like they listen to similar artists, and I wouldn't say I don't really, but I've just like barely dipped my toes into them. And like when I'm looking for inspiration, I tell them like, oh, just send me a song you think you would want it to sound like, and I kind of like grab from that. But yeah, I think my taste is kind of different.
Because you said you're into R&B. What are the songs they send you? Like, who are they asking you to emulate?
I can't really like off the top of my head. I can't, but I know for Central Control, I had made our bassist send me a song because they really wanted me to yell on it. But I don't know if I really hit it that well. But they were kind of coaching me, so I'm like, okay, I think I can do it. So, I really don't remember. I don't know if you remember it, the song.
I sent her. It's The Warning. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're
No.
like I think it's a three-piece as well, and they're all siblings. They're from Mexico. They're all sisters. And there's a song. I can't remember the name of the song. But I think it's called Evolve. And throughout, like, there's like a little solo, and one of them just screams. I sent her also like a Slayer song where he screams in the intro as well. Yeah.
That's a major step up. I'm sure when you heard it, you're like, how am I supposed to do this?
They're like, just yell, like practice right now. I'm
It's
like,
like it's so easy. Oh yeah, of course. Let me just yeah. But yeah, no, all our tastes are pretty different. Yeah, like metal, punk, R&B, like some be for like some classical or like oldies. I really like 40s and 50s music a lot, and like indie rock. We all kind of jump all around the place.
Is there any you have any plans of making like an experimental album? Like you said, you like disco. You're gonna make a disco rock album. So you have the disco ball spinning, but you have people like
If they let
headbanging.
me.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Like I was like, oh, what if we do? Like maybe something like pretty like really different. But it's partly could we write something that would sound good and also do it justice, like something that we would like. Maybe that's like like for example, like disco or something. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to. There's a lot of like unique instruments and like things that are in those songs where like we don't have those certain instruments or types of things like a lot of background vocals or like certain things like trumpets and stuff, because I think it'd be cool to do like some type of like Beatles like Abbey Road stuff, but we don't have orchestras or stuff like that. I hear some melodies, but it's impossible to do it outside of the instruments we got right now. So
right, but it's on the mind because given that you guys have different genre tastes, I would assume you guys are gonna eventually let it bleed into the music, right? Because I'm sure like there are many bands who will produce a similar sound for years, and then there are some that with their second attempt they will change a lot. Kind of like Imagine Dragons, right? Like, right? Like, if you like their second album was Smoke and Mirrors was completely different from Night Visions, right? So like, I kind of figured you guys might be interested in something like that.
Yeah, well, it's like honestly, it's already bleeding through. Like if you pay attention to the drum beat for Monochrome, that's a total like just like house and dance drum beat. So it's like a very electric drum and bass inspired. So it's just like it's plug and play basically. You get whatever you think is gonna work. It could be a funk beat, it could be like a dance beat, a punk rock beat, and just like yeah, just seeing where it works and everything. But yeah, it already bleeds through, and it's like really fun to do it.
That's
Also, I
awesome.
think with like Central Control, that one it being like our heaviest song, I feel like we really leaned heavy with that. Like, my inspiration for it was like the Diamond Heads, like "Am I Evil?" I think his was also like "Knock Loose," right? Like the drum beat, or the
The
skank beat.
yeah, that was more like early Black Sabbath and stuff. Yeah, so especially with like the whole the production of that song, it's very grainy and everything, and I wanted it to sound like an early like Sabbath, like you like a cassette. That you're like, oh shit, like this grain is like there, like you can imagine it being released like in the early '80s, and you're like, what the fuck, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something because you took the mic back.
She said the mic stand.
Let me before I cut her off. Let me let her talk. But no, yeah. So that's a lot of that is like because I'm not gonna speak for Jay, but I'm not a musician. So hearing stories coming from the musician side of things is very interesting. Ever since we started this podcast, we've been talking to rappers generally. Like we've had like 6 rappers on our show. And then the last episode we just did is gonna be Sad Name, which is a rock band, 4-piece. And hearing their perspective, how they develop their music compared to how the rappers do it, is some of it overlaps and some of it is completely different. And I think for us, well, specifically for me, because I'm like trained in film and script writing, it's a lot of it is similar and a lot of it's different. And to hear the differences between how you guys like work on stuff is interesting to me. Like your processes are very interesting. When you guys write, who would start, I guess, writing first? Like who writes the song first, or you all take a turn writing each song?
I feel like a lot of the songs already have lyrics to it. So they're kind of like, oh, they play the instrumentals and they're like, oh, here are the lyrics, see if you can make them fit. Because they used to have another singer like way back, I don't know when, but they did, and they're like, oh, these are the lyrics they had. So just try to make it fit. If you don't like it, you could change it. So yeah, I would say that. Typically, it's between me and the bassist when we kind of write lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the music itself, yeah, they usually work on the lyrics and stuff. Unless me and the drummer, when we wrote the songs, like we would have an idea or something. But sometimes if we don't, it's just like, oh, this sounds good and all. Yeah, sometimes it would just be like us 2 jamming, and then we'll jam together. I go to his place a lot too. Like we just love to play, and we'll come up with something like, oh, that sounds good. Let's keep working on it, and then we'll just have the song as it comes. Sometimes I have a bunch of like just archives recordings that I have, and like I'll bring up things to them, and I'll send them like their like files, and be like, what do you think of this? And I love the brutal honesty from you, because you'll be like, oh, like nah, like that shit, and I'll be like, respect. Yeah, like nah, that like doesn't sound good, or that kind of sounds good. There's a part that we really like and we could use, and I'm like, cool. So I'll trash 4 songs. I'll keep like a little riff here and there from 2 songs, add them together, and that's how you get songs like our TRNZ or Monochrome, which was like, it sounded nothing like it beforehand. And they really helped me out. Like all 3 of them really helped me out on it, because sometimes it's hard just writing songs over and over and over again. You can only do so much.
Yeah. What is it that song with Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson? What's that song called? Remember the Uptown Funk? Yeah. Bruno Mars said he wrote that song 10 times, and then they finally settled on the version that they wrote, and then that was the big hit. So that's what that kind of reminded me of. For you guys, what comes first, the music or the lyrics?
The music.
The music.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Why is that? You guys like music first and then lyrics after?
We didn't have a singer for like
Circumstances then. Circumstances is what you're telling me.
No, it's usually instrumentals, because we just like our guitar said, we have a bunch of like deep cuts, so we're just bringing them up now that we have a singer. But a lot of the time it's also just like we want to get the basses done or the bass song, and then we start writing lyrics from that. So it's like Laundromat wasn't supposed to be a real song. It was supposed to be, it was like an interlude. And then I took to writing lyrics to it, and then we just like it's still like it's like only a minute and 50 seconds long, but like in that minute and 50 seconds I feel like it's like you see like how the song like starts from an interlude into like an actual little song into like bleeding into liquor store. But yeah, it's just, it depends on what we have, it depends on the circumstance, but either way it's fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, it's like I said, the process is very, 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 very interesting. If you guys weren't doing music, what do you think you would be chasing right now?
Oh, probably college stuff. Well, me personally, because I also like outside of music, I study film.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, I study post production and all that. So I probably would be doing internships and editing and all that. And, like yeah, like content creation and such. That would have been my gig.
I thought you might be a real estate agent because you're the devil. You know?
No, Hollywood is just as bad.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
For me, well, I've been in school since like they needed me. I've graduated 3 times already, so probably would have been getting my bachelor's. But I've got like 3 associates and multiple certificates.
You're very accomplished.
Wow.
Congratulations.
The smart one.
You skull? Or
Oh, me, I'm the skull. I forgot.
She looks at Dracula.
I don't know wherever the wind takes me.
So you were always going to be a singer then. That's what that tells me.
Yeah.
Honestly, fucking dead.
Oh, damn.
There's nothing else to do, bro. In
There's
this
nothing
economy?
else to do.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I think I've always liked music, so I'd probably be doing around with music somewhere.
Awesome.
Well,
And
I mean, if you don't
sorry,
get to
go
music,
ahead.
there's always drug dealing. You know?
Oh, yeah. And you mentioned you do film. I was wondering, you guys don't have music videos out, right?
Yeah, no, not yet. I had ideas when I like specifically for Monochrome and like Liquor Store and Laundromat, like those concept songs and stuff. I had ideas of stuff, and you know, being in like the film departments and such when in schools and all, I'm sure you guys know that you meet a lot of people like within the field, and you meet a lot of people inside of it, outside, and I know a lot of people that like could make up a whole team for like production and stuff, and I meet more people like you guys, and it's like it's giving me like ideas like, okay, eventually at some point when it's more like recognizable and it's more worth it to make music videos and all that, I know people I could call and like I could help write and script write and direct as I like have done like work in and kind of like work with all these guys and try to like come up with a music video. It's been there definitely, but I think it's a little maybe too early.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just want to bounce back to like what we would be doing. I don't want to like, they're kind of downplaying it. So these two are like licensed in like actual like cosmetology, and this guy's about to graduate like from school. So like they have their shit together, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like if they weren't back in music, or they'd be like fucking killing it out there. But instead we chose to do this.
I'm sure your parents are very proud.
Yeah, I mean, literally today was my last day of college. I just finished.
Hey, that's
yeah,
cool.
literally.
Congratulations,
man.
So I'm
yeah.
chilling.
Congratulations.
So
Heck yeah.
yeah, so now I could just focus on this 24/7.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'm
As
like
it
the
should be.
band stylist. I've done her hair. I've done his hair. He was my final. I just finished barbering right now, so I shaved him and I did him the haircut. So yeah,
Oh.
I'm the band stylist.
Looks good, huh? You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, did you do the horns too? Yeah, awesome. But no, yeah, that's you guys. So you guys are all really very, very accomplished, right? Outside the
No. No, he's accomplished in his own ways.
Hey, you can always patrol the block, like I said. Just patrol the block, right? If you're not, you don't have a legal job, it doesn't matter. You can do many things now. But so you guys are done a lot of things, right, outside of music. But you perform with the masks on. Do your parents, do your families come to watch you perform?
No.
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 Is that intentional? Oh, it's intentional.
Yeah.
Do they
Dracula.
know? Right. Do they know?
Yeah, I think my family is the only one. Yeah, I
Really?
Yeah, my family is very supportive. Actually, it's
Oh,
crazy.
awesome.
And I'm like, hey, respect. It's sometimes it's a little embarrassing. Like not the master any, but sometimes some of the lyrics, my brother would like catch on to it and be like, what did he say there? Like, and I was like, just be like, it's just.
I want her mom to come. I've been trying to get her to come. I'm like, Senora, please. Start a pit.
Well, actually, my cousins are really supportive. They always come, or at least try to come to every show. But I don't really feel like performing in front of them simply because of my lyrics, because I know they're gonna be like, "What did she just say?" Like, yeah, it's just a little awkward. But I'm proud. I think we're all proud as a band, like where we stand. So I don't really care like what my family has to say.
Yeah, that's kind of like the similar thing we have here. I don't know if your family is like if you're afraid of your family watching what we say in the podcast.
No, they know.
'Cause-
Oh, about things we say?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a little, yeah.
So,
hold
who
back
did
a
you
little
guys vote for?
well,
We said that already.
Yeah, we had so we don't always have guests on. Like we kind of bounce back and forth between having guests. We usually have a format. We had an old format, so when we had rappers on, we kind of wanted to break the ice with them, and we would tell funny stories with them, and then we interviewed them.
Yeah.
And so that happened like in the sixth episode, and by the sixth episode, we started interviewing these rappers with our funny stories. And when we're alone, we try and we're not as respectful as we are with guests. Like
no.
we pride ourselves in being degenerates. Right, in the
It's a lot of that
podcast
stuff.
space.
Yeah.
Because we mock degenerate people on our show or our degenerate stories. Like we have a Florida Man segment where we just talk about the worst Florida man we can find.
Yeah.
And they're pretty bad. They get pretty bad.
They get rude.
And the reactions were even better when we read them with the rappers, right? Like they
Yeah.
could not believe what they were hearing. But I would say that we did when the election was going on, we did like election episodes. We made guesses, and
Yeah.
for the sake of argument, we split who we just thought would win, and we talked about that beforehand because I didn't want us to agree. I want us to have like a different opinion, and then we present why we think that is. So sadly, I was wrong.
Yeah, I was right. Sadly, also.
Sadly, he was right.
Hopefully, you guys didn't bet any money.
I should have. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, Poly Market, they were up. We should have known, man. The gamblers, they put them over, right? But okay, I mean, well, speaking of gambling, you guys gamble? Like, while we're on the topic, might as well
Gamble?
talk about
Nobody
it.
gambles.
For real?
You.
if you're not ashamed, I mean, you're wearing a mask, so you're pretty
Yeah.
anonymous. I guess.
I get angry pretty easily. If I gamble and if I lose the first time, that's it. I'm just pure rage.
Yeah, you'd see them on those TikToks where they're breaking like slot machines with their cane. Like,
Oh.
no, I haven't.
You haven't gambled.
That's such a lie. You gamble with like your Pokemon cards.
Okay,
there
that
you
is
go.
true.
Not the Pokemon.
Yeah,
card.
I do buy and like I look at like pricings and stuff.
You don't gamble? You never gambled? No? Okay,
No.
good. Then you're the only one with sense here, I guess.
If you gamble, join in the band.
Oh,
She
I
gambles
gamble
her
on my
whole
life decisions.
the ultimate gamble.
The ultimate
Right.
gamble, her career. That's what she did. But no, yeah, I mean, I don't really gamble. Like, we play scratchers sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
not-
You
Oh.
guys play Loteria, but with like the quarters.
no, yeah.
Wait,
That's as like far as gambling as I get, cause like I said, I will get mad, but that's fun until I lose. But that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when we go to Vegas, we'll probably live by the, the 99% of gamblers quit just before they hit the big one.
This turbo on.
So we're just gonna do that, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll film it, we'll show our whole
Yeah.
ride there, and then we're not gonna know how to get back because we're gonna sell our car for the money.
Let's
So
see. You gotta know when to stop. Like I was gambling the other day. I bought the dollar scratchers, and then I won. So I was like,
Okay.
I won. I might win again.
So buy another one.
And then I didn't. I lost everything.
you want to take it back or?
Yeah, I won like a ticket and like $5.
Oh,
And then I went. I grabbed the ticket, and then I basically lost the $6.
That's when you steal money. You do it again, then you win 1,000.
yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Or you take out a loan, You You take out like the biggest loan you can get, and you just dump it all on black.
It's always a black.
Always
Yeah.
on black, yeah. Just you'll get it. You'll
I mean, it's a 50% chance. You know,
yeah.
50 is a big chance.
And you could be 50% right or 50% wrong. You know, it's like that glass half full perspective. Exactly.
You gotta be very optimistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Me.
Especially when you go to Vegas, very
Oh
optimistic.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I like how we just completely derailed the whole conversation. Yeah, this is us. This is still us being respectful, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's try to take it back.
Could still see you punching them.
Oh yeah.
Like, in fact, we're gonna roll in a slot machine right now,
Okay.
and we're gonna all
Yeah.
take
Beautiful.
a spin. You know, there's an ATM outside. And you guys are gonna take cash advances from your credit cards, and you're just gonna roll the dice on this thing. But yeah, so so tonight you play for us, Laundromat, and you talked about the concept about the song. Is there a reason why you wanted it to be a concept?
Breakups and shit. Just like
Yeah,
be
relatable.
sad, you know? Why not? We're like, yeah, this is something we're going through. Why not just fucking put it into music? And then immediately it just like spiraled into like, okay, let's see how sad we can make this, and let's see if people catch on. But yeah, it's just like all in good fun, if you can call that fun.
No, it's good. I felt like making a montage or something, a little compilation. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if it's a roller coaster of emotions, I hear roller coasters are fun, right? So, I mean, you can apply that to
True, half the time.
the time, right?
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's just pretty much the background to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beloved experience.
Unfortunately.
Not you.
No, it was not me. He
Oh.
wrote this one.
Oh.
It just called you out. She's like, I felt his pain singing
Yeah.
these lyrics.
I was like, yeah, I was supposed to say
As
that.
an impact, I was like, I feel you.
It's okay. He's wearing the mask. No one will know. You know, except his closest family and friends.
Yeah,
You know,
and the giant neon
other-
sign that says his social security and his first name and last name.
You know, outside only the people that matter. You know, that's who will know who he is. But no, I mean, okay, so and then you decide. So that song came first when you decided on the concept, and then Liquor Store came after.
Yes. Yeah. It was a very soft song. As the drummer said, it was like that little interlude song that became its own. And then I thought, like, to contrast that, let's make a little more like a rock, a little faster song with some more beat to it, less atmospheric and aura. And then that's where Liquor Store came in.
That's awesome. You guys you kind of bookend it, huh? Like, did you not want to add more songs? Like, it's only 4 songs. It's not that long. Is that like just a tease for people?
Nah, the truth is, recording music is so expensive and we're broke as shit. So we're like, this is all we can get, and then we still went over budget, and we're like, all right, well, but no, it's like we did the 3 new songs, and then we did the 1 old song, and like we're pretty happy with that as like a concept or like how we do things. So we're like, okay, well, like for every new song or every couple of new songs that we have, let's bring back an old one. And yeah, we're like, we now going through the songs that we want to do, like the old songs, that's a little bit trickier because the old songs fucking suck because we're growing, right? We're growing as musicians and shit. So you're like, okay, well, if let's see how we can improve this song, how we can make it better. And then when we come up with it and we're like, okay, we got this to a good point that we can even play it live, then that's when we're like, okay, it's ready to record. But yeah, like no song that we've like written like back then sounds the same now because we've just grown as musicians and we change everything up. Like that's my favorite thing to do. Is just like old songs, okay, let's go and let's see how we can change it and make it even better.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I thought someone was gonna say something there. No. Maybe it's my paranoid delusions. They're acting up right now.
Yeah.
I got off my medicine. You know.
Again?
Yeah. Again. Yeah.
Again? Ooh.
Yeah. It's the third
The
week.
voices.
It's the third week in a row. The mouths are moving. I see the mouths on the mask actually moving when I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, it's kind of like a Looney Tunes cartoon for me.
He was like, I don't see that at all, but okay, I'll agree with you.
No, because I see it differently.
I guess
I see a different side. That's why.
it's not. They're not moving.
Yeah, because
You're
usually he
actually in the
goes.
room alone, dude.
Oh, it's just him.
That's usually how it is. I'm usually just in a room with 4 microphones alone, talking to myself. I only realize when I start editing. That's when I realize I'm alone. You know, because then the visions aren't recorded. Right But it would be something if they were recorded too. You know, that would be interesting. It's a continuity of my mental illness.
Yeah, you wouldn't have no proof it was when recorded.
You're right. The cameras here don't catch it, but our cameras do. You know. Yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh. So we've had a good time having you on. Is this like your first appearance like on a podcast? Really? Are you guys nervous at all for this? Nah. So you guys feel like pretty good, you know?
Yeah, we had one interview at a show we also did at Cereus backyard. It was we were playing Wreckafest, which headlining Wreckafest, which is a beautiful band you guys should check out as well. And we also had a duo there from the YouTube. I'm forgetting their name. I'm so sorry, but they also had interviewed us too. It was a small video style interview. We just stood on the side and they interviewed each band as they went on in that little festival.
Something with it.
Yes,
Yeah, I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong because they were pretty chill. The whole they asked us a question and then they saw that we whipped out the masks, couldn't hear shit. We had to redo it again, and then the answers just changed completely. So
But they were really chill with it all. But this is the first kind of on a couch podcast style, fully sit in, full session.
That's awesome. So what were you guys like? I know I introduced you guys to come on the podcast. I invited you guys. What did you expect from the podcast? Did we kind of meet your expectations, or would you think we're gonna say all right, talk about more personal things, or what do you think?
I came in with no expectations. Honestly, I was they're just, we're going to do this. I was like, okay.
Awesome.
That was it. Yeah.
The best expectations are no expectations. You're always surprised when you have no expectations.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this. It's just such a beautiful thing right here. It's just so chill and my expectation. I think it was just as is. I think it's better. It's really nice for y'all to have us here, and it's just such a chill, fun time. Nothing crazy at all. It's just fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea. We want to bring more smaller artists on before we get too big. You know what I mean?
Before we get too big, yeah.
Yeah, before we beat Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
right.
Sell your souls, make
Before
a
we're
couple
better than
videos.
everyone. Yeah,
Hey, someone who's selling, who's buying? We're willing to sell. You know what I mean?
Hey, you speak for you.
Yeah.
I've watched some of the episodes before, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, nice.
have you?
Hey.
Actual fan right here.
Hey, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. We really do appreciate it when people watch the show and they come on and they interact. It means a lot to us. It really does. So we have a fan here and you have fans here of your music. So it's just a big love fest, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really awesome.
Pause.
No Diddy, right? So there we go. But no, yeah, I thought it was chill. The last band we had was awesome. So we were feeling good about that episode because this is actually the first time we're shooting bands here. Because we had our black and green studio elsewhere.
Real small.
Yeah, real tiny. We can only have one other person with us, 3 at a time. But we had the idea of expanding the amount of people we have because we want to have casts of films, other bands. And so I figured, we've been at Nightingale. We saw the couches. So might as well have here and then we'll get the bands that we're close to and we'll just expand from there. So we really appreciate you guys coming on and giving us some legitimacy and credibility with
thank you
bands
guys,
outside of our scope, right?
Yeah, and we're just trying to give even smaller bands just a little bit of a whatever platform we have, to just go ahead and show what you guys have.
Oh yeah, totally. And those bands as they go, a lot of members and different people, they spread it off to these people like, hey, this group of these gentlemen are like making this podcast in this little series. They're checking anyone there who isn't really like, they're really not seen by a lot of other people. You kind of skip upon them, and some people maybe skip upon the show and such. But like you kind of see these together, and it's like, wow, it's this whole other community, and people want to be a part of that, and you start to grow, and you represent your scene and the people like that other bigger shows, your Joe Rogans and such probably will never see,
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
cool. It's a little like lower scene where a lot of people that want to go to smaller shows and stuff, or like see like smaller shows and like series can like really get in there and see like all these connected groups together, and they have new content and new music and new videos to watch that they wouldn't find otherwise. It's really hard to find.
Oh yeah. Like for the other guests we've had, only 2 of them, like of the 6 rappers, only 2 of them had done previous interviews before, and as one of them had put it, he goes, "Oh, you're popping my cherry. You're taking my V card from me right now."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay, great." It was quite a pleasant and awkward experience at the same time. But you know what? He's a good friend of mine, and we still talk. So we have some stuff coming out. But yeah, it was great having you guys on.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to perform Laundromat for us tonight on the show. But that's not going to be the only song they perform for us. Once the interview is over, we're going to launching our own Patreon page where you can view the additional set, the final 3 songs from their EP, Misery Avenue. And those songs will be available on our Patreon. And we'll make a bigger announcement ahead of time, before these videos are released. So you guys can know, we can promote it, and then you guys can see more of their stuff live. So we're going to have extra podcasts on there, extra episodes, extra bonus content from past sets that we've had here at Nightingale. They're all going to go up there. I know we've been promoting it on our channel, but they're all going to be up on there. So subscribe to the Patreon, and then we can't wait to see you guys perform. So we're very excited.
And where can we find you guys online? If you guys want to plug yourselves.
It's so complicated. We have a CXRXUS on Instagram, which is Cereus. The other username was taken.
Okay.
Other than that, our SoundCloud it's Cereus as well, and Spotify. If you guys want to catch us live, we're playing at Chain Reaction at the end of the month of December 28th. So hit us up for tickets and stuff, and pull up, please. It'll be pretty fun.
There you
Please,
go.
we're fucking
Support
desperate.
series.
Sell out, sell them out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No personals. You're not. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 'Cause that's why you're wearing the masks, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah, just Serious. Replace the E's with X's.
Well, that's awesome. You can find a link to all of their materials and their social medias, all in the links in the description below, including the new Patreon page will be included down below. So please subscribe. Please follow them. They're a talented band, and we appreciate having you on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Performing Laundromat from their new EP, Misery Avenue, introducing Cereus.
Sitting here, what happens next? I was your rock, but now you're gone. Wonder why
That was amazing, you guys. Thank you for being on the show. If you guys want to check out their music, they're available on all platforms at Cereus and Cereus Band on Instagram. Please, all the links to their music will be in the description down below. Please check them out. Thank you guys for having me. You guys are great.
Thank you.